Hi everyone, delonewolf here. Welcome back for some more EVE Online, and in today's video I want to take a look at the tech tree changes and at project discovery, because the July patch has basically just been deployed maybe an hour ago of the recording of this video, and this is my first login. I want to take a quick look at what's happened to my tech tree ship. So you can see that I moved my Proteus, two of them in Jita. One of them was covered ups for wormhole exploration, and then another one was more PvE fit, just in case that we wanted to bring like a tech tree ship into missions or something like that. So I wonder what they've become. But first of all, let's look at taking some profits. So here is the Loki. I actually bought two of those as an investment, probably bought them around here for like 110, 115 million. Currently selling for 190 million. So I'm going to put those up. Let's try and sell these for, let's say, 189 rounds. I think that should work. Yep, looks okay. Let's sell these. So that should be a nice bit of profit. I also bought a Tengu apparently, which is now going for 157. You can see that we're basically already starting to flatlining here. Yeah, again, decent profit on the Tengu as well. So going for 158. Let's sell this one for like 157.5. Basically, if someone wants it quickly, they'll normally try to grab this one. And then this is an older investment, but I still apparently bought some confessors, probably here in this prolonged 30 million region, and these are now up to 37 and 40 million. So 37, 7 million, that's another 50 million in profit or something like that, a little bit less than that. If I manage to sell these, let's try 36 and a half. Oh, they're actually being bought for the same price. Well, then we'll do an immediate. I'll just take that profits, sell. All right. Now let's take a quick look at this vehicle market. That's up a little bit as well. So I bought these at 30 again, and these are now at 35 million. So this is a little bit how you can make ISK. I don't do this often enough, but when you know that CCP is going to touch certain aspects of the market, yeah, try to get in on those at the right price can be very useful. They're also basically being bought at 35 million. I bought them for 30, so I'm just straight up going to take this profit here as well. Let's sell, and I'll sell this final one as well. And there we go, bit of my investment being returned on. Now let's jump into first Proteus here. Let's take a look at that. I still have one here as well that I could sell. 163, not so bad, but since I can fly, and I do like to fly Proteus, I'm going to keep those. And the interesting part is probably going to be on the fitting. Yeah, so now I have Proteus core, defensive, offensive, and propulsion, and one of them is gone. And here we go, a Proteus defensive augmented plating is still in the cargo hold. So they said that if you have 5 of them, so everything is fitted, then they will turn all of them into the closest equivalents of these subsystems, and then you'll get an extra one in the cargo bay. And so here we have an extra one in the cargo bay. Now the changes to this Proteus, this was the covered ups Proteus, so we can still use that. Yep. We do lose a mid slot. All right, that's interesting. Let's basically lose this. I think move this one here. We gain a low slot and we gain 2 high slots that can be turrets. So this is definitely not bad for an exploration one. You get more tank, you get more damage as well. And when it comes to the drones, and they don't seem to think that that's a problem, but let's put those in the item hanger as well. Maybe these 2. So I do lose a little bit on the drones as well, but I can still take 5 hops and 5 salvage drones. So that is fixed. Let's try to basically fit this one up a little bit. That means I need to buy 2 more of these blasters. Let's do that. Yes. Let's see if I can just fit them, because I don't have that much CPU left. Do a quick stack all. Let's clean this up a little bit. Repackage. Yes, please. That's, yeah, that'll work actually. So that's good. Do I have... Oh, I don't have any munitions here apparently. Void M. Can I just do... Alright then. We'll go over here. munitions, hybrid charges, medium, and I think that it's like that. Void M. Let's buy another 2,000 of those. Okay. And put them in here, which ups my DPS to 600. Not so bad. And let's put these in here as well. And then we have one extra low slot. Now, if you haven't yet, I'll post a link to the dev blog on the tech tree changes down below. You should definitely check that out. There's also a link to a forum post that's like several thousand words long, where every single detail of the changes is added, but a big part of the philosophy was to differentiate these Tech 3 cruisers from the Tech 2 cruisers, and as a result they've become a bit bigger in signature and they have lowered their resistances. So here I think I had better resistances before, but by gaining a low slot, explosive, adaptive, I could add another adaptive, or I could of course increase my DPS for my heavy neutron blasters. Probably going to be the more effective part. But let's maybe look for to make this one very tanky, just in case that I want to take it into a wormhole. Tankiness there is really important against the sleepers, so I think that I'll basically prefer to go like this, and that all fits. Whip Scram against the small sleepers can be really good for my blasters as well, and this should be decently PvP ready, I think. So there we go. First Proteus ready. It's also cap stable, so I could basically keep repping myself continuously in the PvE sites if I want to. So I like this, not so bad. And here is my first Proteus ready. So if you're curious, we've got Gopher Dubs, we've got heavy neutron blasters too. That's 6 of them. It used to be 4, so that's quite a big difference. Of course, we've got probes, and we've got an afterburner, whip and scram. We've got 3 energized adaptives, damage control, 1 explosive for the hull, Tech 2 medium armor repair, and over here we've got cap for the cap stable. So not bad. Resistances up to 87-80%. So this should work out quite nicely. For this one, you know, it's still covered ups, and it's going to do the job that I first designed it for. Now let's take a look at Mega Drum and see what that one has turned into. Looks very similar to the previous one, to be honest. So, oh no, it is. It probably is. No, it's got 4 slots here, and it's got more drone bay as well. Interesting. So this one is a little bit different. Hyperspatial optimization, hyperencoding. Alright, on this one we're going to do something slightly different. This would be my PvE one. The good news is the tank is exactly the same. I've got more mid slots, I've got more high slots, and I have... no, it's out of 50. 150 out of 50. So I would have to remove these guys, I think, and these guys. Let's take that out so that I get to 50 out of 50. Like that. What is the bandwidth for it though? Quick look at the show info. I think we'll find that here. Drone capacity. Ah, we could do 50, and bandwidth is only 25, so that's 5 small drones. Okay, makes sense. Here again, I do have neutron blasters in there, but this time with Federation Navy charges. And do I have any of them left here? Nope, I do again. Oh yeah, yes I do. And I also have Proteus core efficiency. Alright, now let's actually get into some testing here. What should be possible is I should be able to remove these rigs if I want to. So let's do that. Look at that. That is really awesome. That is one of the changes that is going to differentiate Tech 3 cruisers from the other cruisers. I can actually take out the rigs and I put them back if I want. Really cool stuff. So I wonder what happens if I do strip on this ship. There we go. Everything is gone, including the rigs, and then you can start to play around with all the different subsystems. Very cool. Okay, if you want those subsystems, again here I haven't checked that. I should really go and start looking at all the Proteus subsystems. That is probably what I'm actually going to do after this first look video here. So for that you want to go, I think it's to, well, let's look for it here. Why doesn't that work? I should have one here then, or is it still... There we go. A few market details. Ship modifications. Alright. And subsystems. Galente. So we've got core, 3 of them. Defensive, 3 of them. Offensive, 3 of them. And propulsion, 3 of them. And here again, of course, you can start to... let's put this one here. Can I do that? Yeah, it is, of course... What the hell? What does it say? Item hanger. You cannot remove a substitute without having a replacement to take its place. The ship will depressurize. Oh, so you can only replace those. So I could do that. Oh yeah, alright. That makes sort of sense. It does force you to buy a second subsystem. You could of course always look at it in the simulation mode. But very good news, of course, you can get rid of your rigs without destroying them, and as a result you can fully refit those ships to the design that you like. And I'm going to design this one for high-sec PvE, so I think lots and lots of damage, lots of drones, things like that. I'm gonna see what I can build out of it. The reason is that we know, or we're pretty sure from CC, that for the agency, which will have like daily quests for us to do, some of them will be tied to finishing them in a tech tree ship. So I think it will make sense to try and create an efficient tech tree ship for those. And since I can only really fly the Proteus, I'm going to change this one up and try to make it into a nice PvE Proteus. I'll have a look at all of the subsystems. I'm not going to film all of that, but I'll probably show it off when the agency starts, and then you guys will have an idea of what I've built on that front. So pretty cool so far. Also, of course, right after the patch, it seems to all be working as expected, as it should. So I would say that that's pretty good news. On to the next part of the video, which is we'll take a look at Project Discovery. Now that it should be deployed. Exactly. I will just run through the tutorial to take a look at this. So let's start the tutorial. Welcome to Project Discovery. Michel Mayor, I think he had a talk at FanFest explaining a little bit what the analysis is that we're doing here. We'll start with some simple samples to train you, and so you'll be analyzing samples with your fellow capsuleers. So let's start the tutorial. Let's first of all make this as big as possible. I think that it would make sense to do this as the standard way to open it, but okay. So this is the luminosity graph. This is a luminosity graph of a star far, far away. Your job is to identify planetary transits, a point in time where a planet passes in front of the star from our point of view. When this happens, the luminosity of the star will decrease as a portion of its light is blocked. Okay. The x-axis shows the time measurement, so that's over 21 days here in this case, all right? Or from day 7 to day 21. The y-axis shows the luminosity of the star, showing the ratio between its current luminosity and its average luminosity at each point in time. And here you can clearly see a dip there. Secondary classifications. While finding transits, you can classify the star's activity pattern. However, this will not contribute to your accuracy, as the main goal is to find planets. If the star system is unknown, then players' consensus will be gathered on this information. If you're unsure or not, then examining these categories can be helpful. So if you're not sure, you can look at this, but it's not really the main goal of Project Discovery. Use the minimap slider to center the transit on the screen. So do that. Mark the transits. Left click on the center of this dip. Since there is only one obvious dimming event in this sample, you should left click again on your marker to confirm this as a suggested transit. So I just left click, and this is really cool. You can see that it animates a little planet in orbit around the star depending on where you click, and then I'll click a second time right at this dip here. Toggle the marker visibility on and off. Off, on. Not sure. That's not very visible here. The star system is simulated by your markings. Each marker translates to a single planet, and each planet moves in relation to the orbital period you have selected. The planet you just marked can only be spotted once on the graph, so we assume it has a greater orbital period than the span of the graph. Okay, that makes sense. click here to submit your analysis. The way to recognize this is as a transit is its prominent dip in the light curve from around 100% to 93.1%. And its U-shape or V-shape, the flux caused by the transit spans multiple data points on the graph. So what I don't like on this personally is that we don't always see these data points when we're looking at the graphs themselves. So this could really be more useful, but okay. Let's press finish. And I will move on to the next one. Multiple transits in a sample. Celestial bodies can orbit around a star very fast. This is something I didn't know, but it's not uncommon for a planet to orbit around its host star daily or in a matter of a few days. You will now be guided on how to mark such transits. Alright. Firstly, this curve is from a rotating star with solar spots that cause periodic fluctuations in the brightness. Use the detrending tool to filter out the solar fluctuations. So if I press on this, it's going to basically normalize, flatten out the average star luminosity. But then you can clearly see the dips here. Click once on the graph, then move your mouse. When the distance has reached half a day, the marker will replicate. Try to hit the highlighted areas on the graph as well as you can and click to lock the marking. Don't worry, you have a chance to fine-tune it later. So we'll click on one of them, but just once. Last time that was all we could see in the dips, so that was it. And now we can actually move our mouse cursor, and that looks like it's decently close. And now you can see that we have basically sped up the planet's rotation because every maybe 1.5 days, is it that correct? Day 1, then 2.5, yeah, every 1.5 days thereabouts, the planet crosses the star and dims the luminosity. So at this stage, your marking is still modifiable. You'll have to test your hypothesis in folded mode, which will be explained shortly. If you are unhappy with the current state of your marking, it can be discarded by right-clicking. To proceed, please cancel your marking. So let's cancel this one. We'll mark the curve again, so we'll do this. And then it's a little bit longer than that, but it's not that easy to get it close to right, so let's do this one. After that we have to fold. By folding the graph onto itself based on the orbital period that you have marked, the dips are overlaid on each other. This lets us better compare the regularity of the dips compared to each other. Press the fold button. Let's do that. And here we can then calibrate this a little bit. In folded mode you will be able to align all the transit dips as well as you can. Okay, so you can see that we have all the dips, but they are spread out, and as a result, so we're probably wrong on the speed of the planet. Now, okay, the x-axis now displays the relative offset from the center measured in days. Okay, the length of the is equal to the orbital period you have selected. Here's where they almost lose me, but okay. You can see your marking information here. Alright. To edit the epoch, simply click a position on the graph and the epoch will adjust according to this now. Let's click right in the middle of this. To change the orbital periods, you can use the mouse wheel. Let's get it close to 1743 days. Okay, let's do that. So mouse wheel need to go up. 1743 is what they were looking for, so something like that. And yeah, you can clearly see that that seems to be around the right orbit. Now we can put this here in the middle, and this should be obviously a pattern for a planet that goes by every 1.743 days. Let's press confirm and submit the analysis. Alright, this light curve had a rather even and obvious transit. Of course, it's a tutorial. Caused by a gas giant planet. Folding becomes a crucial tool to find planets with smaller and more uneven fingerprints. So that is something that I don't fully understand. pretend always, but let's keep going. Press finish. Let's see what the tutorial has in store for us next. Now that you know the basics, it's time for you to start developing an eye for detecting transits. In the following samples, you will have to find a transit on your own. Be aware, though, that transits are a relatively rare event. Okay, now here I would say that it's pretty obvious again. We could try the detrending tool. That does work quite nicely to bring this all in line. And then we can clearly see that here to here, that seems to be about right. There is one planet that transits every, what would that be? So 1.4 to 3.4 every 2 days, a bit less than that. Earth days, that's probably going to be. So let's do the folding then. We're pretty much on the money on this one. We can refine it just a little bit. Looks like it's going to be like that. Put this right at the center. And then we can press confirm. And submit, I guess. This is only 3 out of 10. Holy hell. Analysis successful. And finish. Okay. Next. So we do have regular dips here. This one is a little bit different, but it's... oh, yeah. Let's see. If I press detrending, what happens then? There you go. So because of it's all the luminosity here, we're probably talking one of these patterns. Let's see if I can spot something. Could be this. A pulsating star. That's definitely possible. But if I detrend this, then there is obviously one dip right here. So we can press this. And that is probably just one planet that is only passing us once every 30 days here apparently on this one, on this chart. Now after that, could there be something else here? Maybe. I wonder if I could... oh yeah, so you can zoom in. Okay. And then you can start looking for some other dips. So here you do have a dip here as well. But that is here again the same thing we had in the previous project discovery. We don't really get enough dips, I feel, to know. Could this be a second planet? So we've got here, here, here. So we could have something, but I just don't think that from 101% to 98% that this is enough to be a planet. I could be wrong, of course, but I think that's really all I'm seeing here. So I'm just going to press submit on that one. Pay special attention to the pattern that deviates from the norm. There here is a U-shaped pattern that's highly indicative of a transit. Okay. Of course, I've done this on CC already, so I know a little bit more about all of this, but still, I find that it's not always easy. So here, you can again see that we have this weird pattern. We've got one that clearly stands out, down to 96%. So that is obviously one. Could we make this repeatable? Not on this one. Maybe on this one. So that dip, I'm really not sure. It could be a very fast planet. What if I undo the detrending here? So obviously here something dips as well. Here again as well. What would that be? It really just doesn't fit very well. So what I could try is I could try putting this up, then do the folding, and then see if we get something. But as you can see here, we're not getting anything that looks like a clear dip in the chart here. So all I'm really seeing here, well, I do see this, and then these four. They are obvious dips, but this one is the one that looks most like an actual planet, like what we've seen before. So let's gamble that it's only this one and that the others are basically star fluctuation. Yeah, he says that that is correct somehow. Okay, good. Maybe one thing to keep in mind, of course, is that this is just straight up the star luminosity. Yeah, couldn't tell you why this, for instance, is not an object that comes back several times in front of the star. It's apparently just the star's natural fluctuations. Moving on to the next one. Here we do have one obvious dip, another obvious dip here, a couple that look pretty interesting as well. Let's see what happens when we press detrending. Okay. So it could be, this is obvious, and then assuming that it's only one star, it could be like this, I think. So then if we press fold, you can clearly see that we are pretty much where we need to be. Can I zoom in on that? No, not really. Okay. Let's press confirm. Let's see if that's all I was supposed to look at. Yeah, apparently it is. Okay, still making sense here so far. Let's detrend this one. And this is very strange, of course, because the spikes are actually up, so we have increases in luminosity. So I would say that maybe I could try zooming in on it, see if we can spot anything. But we would need to dip well below the 99% here in a decently sustained way. And except for, well, this looks like it could be one of those dips. But this looks suspiciously like a star that doesn't have a planet orbiting it. So let's press no transit on this one. And yep, there you go. I was actually wrong on that. There was. And this is what I don't know. So you do have to zoom in on that. How? Well, maybe. Yeah, if you zoom in really quite far, you can see that there are these U-shaped dark spots. They just don't go very far, so it must be like a pretty tiny planet. Let's move on to the next one. Yeah, here I think we're basically getting some real samples that are quite a bit more tricky. So let's zoom in. The good news here, again, just like with the Tech 3 ships, is that everything seems to be working out quite okay. But what I don't really know now is how would I, in God's name, be able to pick up on a regular dip. I mean, this here could be, but oh, I probably have to basically grab it. So zoom in quite a bit. Here, this does look, let's see, this looks like it could be something, right? And then let's see if we can spot that pattern again. Here. Maybe here. Let's see. Doesn't look like it. What about here? Maybe. That other one is in there as well. And then in the folded mode is basically where you'd have to go and start looking for that pattern. I'm not seeing it. So I'm a little afraid to press no transits, but really to me not much springs out here. So let's gamble. Let's see if it says okay. Nope, here again it says that there is a planet here. And this is one thing that I don't understand. How the hell am I supposed to know that this is actually a planet and then this would not be, this would not be, this would not be? Really strange yeah, that it's only a single planet transiting once over those 30 days. Kind of weird. The detrending is pretty important. This is obviously something right here. Can't say that I'm spotting a second thing. So let's just do that. Oh, that's obviously wrong. So can I just right click to dismiss? All right, so we've got that one. Take out detrending. I'm sure that there's going to be a second one here or something, but again, this is obviously the pattern that was shown early on in the tutorial. In the previous one, couldn't spot anything like that, to be honest, and here now this is all I really see. So let's press submit and let's take a look at that. All right, this time it says that I was correct. And then a final one for the tutorial here. Let's take a look at that when it's detrended. I would say that that could then be something. But can I find like a repeating pattern for this? So here we do have another dip. Although that is within a day, so that is very fast. And you can see it come back, I would say, in this area. Let's do a quick check in folded mode. I couldn't really spot anything here. So we are once again just going to grab this and call it, I think, because I don't see. I mean, here, this data point, all of these, they dip precipitously, and all this could be one, right? I think. Let's look for it. Why does it say no transits? Let's see. Can I remove this one? I can, like that. Let's put it a bit more here in the middle. And then here we do have another serious dip. Let's try that in folded mode. Nope, here then we are right at a high. So that doesn't make much sense. But yeah, I am intrigued by this. Well, let's do one without detrending. There should be something happening here. Let's press this. Confirm it. And press submit. Most samples you found will not include a transit. Even though planets are plentiful in our galaxy, the chance that you will align between the stars in our telescope is pretty low. Okay. And as a result of finishing off the tutorial, we get some rewards. Very cool. Let's press next. And then let's quickly detrend this one and say that there's no transit. Looks suspiciously like the previous one, so let's press no transit. Press finish. Tutorial complete. And now I think we're basically in the actual project discovery here with actual samples for maps. So if I would detrend this, you know, that here early on does look interesting. But would that dip be an indication of a planet passing? It could really. Let's press it. It is definitely something that is quite different from most of the other trends that's popping out here. So let's submit this. Let's see if people spotted this as well. Analysis failed. Yeah, it's gonna take some getting used to. And I'm losing my accuracy already. Submitted, thank you for your contribution, and then you get some points, and eventually you will get a hat, a shirt, this one I would like, of course, a BPC for a Concorde frigate, and then more skins, etc, etc. We could keep going. So this one is pretty obvious as well. Let's detrend it. Let's put this one here. Put this one here. Press fold. Then we can refine this. Look at that. That's a pretty damn obvious one. Like that. Confirm. And submit. So I'm personally hoping that just like with the previous Project Discovery, they'll actually have some of those actual scientists show us some of these, them doing some of this Project Discovery stuff, so that they can give us better tips on what to notice, what to look forward to, some pitfalls to avoid and things like that. But so far it's definitely cool thinking that we're doing analysis of actual stars, trying to find exoplanets in our actual universe, and you get some rewards for that. So let's quickly go to the redeemable items. I think that's in inventory. Redeem items. Let's redeem these two. Should be in my inventory now. Item hanger. Then you can just double click on those. What do we get here? A Proteus skin would be awesome. It's a Vigil skin. Alright, and what do we get here? A Bellicose exoplanet skin. So let's activate the skin license. That still works as always. They do look pretty bright, pretty colorful, but maybe I'll work until I get one for my Proteus. For now, that's going to be it for this video. A first look at the July patch. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you all next time.